Your website needs to be responsive. And if you're using Tailwind CSS, then it's too easy. So with Tailwind CSS, it's what they call mobile first. So what does that mean? Let's say when this thing gets bigger, we want this to turn into flex row. So it's going to be flex column until we reach the size of medium, and then we'll turn it into flex row. So this is why it's mobile first. It's flex column, and then once it hits medium, it becomes flex row. So if we come over here and type in Tailwind breakpoints, and go to this link right here, we can see all the default breakpoints. So small is 640 pixels, medium 768, large XL 2XL. We can also customize these. So you can either completely override all of them, or you can extend them. So what we're going to do is copy this code right here. We're going to come into our Tailwind config file, and right here under extend, we're going to paste this in right here. So now instead of large being 1024, we turned it into 992, and you can customize all of them. So we see right here, medium is 768, which looks like this. Now let's come in here and change this to 1200. Now we can see it doesn't change until 1200 pixels. Now let's say there's one specific part of your app that you want to have a very specific breakpoint. You can come down here and you can call it custom, and you can make this whatever you want. So now we come over here, and instead of medium, we put custom, and now this will change at the custom breakpoint. So if we come back into here, you can see that I changed this from flex call to flex row. You can do this with a lot of different things. So we see right here, text XL. I can say, once it hits small, let's say text 3XL. So now, remember, it's mobile first. So it's going to be text XL until we get past the small breakpoint, and then it becomes 3XL. You can also come in here and say, once it gets to medium, we want text blue 400 or something. So now, once it hits small, the text increases. Once it hits medium, it turns blue. So we know that these things change as the screen gets larger. So it starts at text XL. Once it hits a small breakpoint, it goes to text 3XL. If we wanted to, we could say, once it gets to medium, we can say text goes back to XL. So now we can see it's at XL, 3XL, back to XL. So you just got to remember it's mobile first, and as the screen increases in size, these breakpoints take effect. When I'm building the website, I have the screen small like this, and I just slowly make it larger and larger, and I make sure it looks good at every single size. So we can see this doesn't look good. Let's improve this a little bit. We can just simply come right here. We can say medium, flex, wrap. So now when it goes to flex row, it's also flex wrap. So you can also make your site responsive without using these breakpoints. So right here, we got text XL, then 3XL, then back to XL. What we could do instead is just say text and say this is equal to a custom size, which is 5 view width. And so now it's going to be constantly increasing in size. We can also do that here. Instead of this being fixed at 80, we can say this is 50 view width. And so now it's always going to be 50% of the screen width. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to turn this into grid. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change all of these to 80. I'm going to say, once it gets to medium, I'm going to say grid calls 2. So we can see when it gets to medium, there's 2 grid columns. But now this is a problem. These are too wide. So we come to all these and we say, once it gets to medium, we're going to say size is 40 view width. And now these two things working together looks like trash. That's because I forgot to add this little dash right here. But now this should look much better. Much better. Still trash, but we can improve it. So we can come in here to all these things and we can add self-center, justify self-center. Boom, looks much better. So in order to get good at building responsive websites, you just got to practice over and over. You got to make these things interact with one another. So I have this div changes when it hits to medium, and these things all also change when it hits to medium. So you have to have all of these things coordinate together to make a good responsive design.